What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today I'll be making a tutorial on how to make a skeleton rig for this character right here. To begin with, we don't want him to be textured, so we're just going to go ahead and remove it so we just have a wire mesh of him. When we want to make this skeleton rig, we want this one to be on animation, so we have the proper drop-down menus up here. We also want to click animation here, so we have the proper tools here if you want to be able to quickly use whatever tools you need. You also have all the tools up here, but I find it easier to use the tools down here. I also mix them up quite a bit. But to begin with, we're gonna make a rig for this leg right here. We're gonna make a rig for this arm right here. And then we're gonna make it so that this leg and this arm also gets a rig. And we're gonna make a spine going all the way up here. And then we're gonna connect them, we're gonna orient them, and then we're going to bind the rig to the mesh. So without further ado, let's start. We want to first go into this view right here, because you can't do the rigging in perspective view like this, because it will probably end up somewhere back here. So that's why you have to go into this, because this will make sure it is properly aligned in the middle of the character. So let's start. We want to put our first point somewhere around here, near the upper part of the thigh, close to the hips. We want to put another one down here, really close to the kneecap, so we get the whole bending right here. We want to zoom in down here. We want to put a spot right here and another one right here, so we get somewhat of a buffer, so to get a more smooth motion from the wrist. And we want to put one over here. Now that we've done that, we zoom out again. You press Enter or W to get this beautiful view. Now we want to go back into perspective, so we can go in here. Now you see, since we did it in the side view, it will place itself right here. So we have to move it, and as you can see, it doesn't quite properly align up with the leg. So to solve this, you select the upper one and you press Insert, which allows you to move this around freely. So we want to put it somewhere here. And then you can press arrow down, or you can click on the same line down here and do the same. So this is the tweaking part, where we kind of just want to move around whatever we're working with to make it as optimized as possible. So yeah, that looks pretty good. What I like to do is to create layers to easier orient around and to easier see what I'm working with. So we're gonna name this legs. You see here, now it's red as we set the color, and you can also lock it. So now we can't do anything with this mesh right here, so we won't mess it up. Alright, and now to the arm. When we do the arm, we want to be in front view right here. We want to click the skeleton tool, and we want to place one right here, approximately where the shoulder is. And we want to put one in the elbow. And we want to zoom in. And we want to click one above the wrist and one pretty much below the wrist. Now I think these markers are way too big, but I'm gonna put them out like this, like this, like this, and like this. And because I think they're too big, I'm gonna mark all of these here. I don't know if everyone gets this problem, but I do. So I go in here and I press 2, and voila, they're small. Now we go into perspective again. As you see, it's not fully lined up with the arm, so we move it back just a little bit. We move this one back just a little bit, and we move this one in, and we move all of these in. As you can see, we want to have this more to the middle, and that's good. We want to move this to a finger. We want to move this to a finger. We want to move this to a finger joint, and then we move this one over here, like so. And also we make a layer of this arm as well. So we click here, we name it arms, and we make that red. And here we go. This looks pretty good. So now we're gonna go ahead and unlock the legs. And since we don't want to do it all over again on this side and this side, the simplest step would be just to mark this, go up to, no, that's the wrong one. We go up to skeleton and mirror joint, but we want to press this one here because we want to select the YZ, and we just move this out of the way so you can see, and we click apply. And now you see we have a perfectly symmetrical but mirrored joint right here. We mark this one and we apply, and now we have them both here. Great. Now we're gonna go ahead and lock the arms, we're gonna lock the legs, and we're just gonna take away the arms so we don't see them, because now we're gonna do the spine. And unlike the arms and the legs where you start from the top, we are going to start from the bottom with the spine. And also this is also done in the side view. So we zoom in, skeleton rig again, and we take it somewhere around here perhaps. And the spine you want to have somewhat of an S shape, so I'm just gonna make it rough right now, because you're gonna have to tweak it later. So we have somewhat of an S shape, not really, so we mark this one and we move it, and we take this one as well. To me this looks pretty okay, because this is just going to be a quick rig. Of course, if you want to make a better rig, you just do it with more points, more joints, I mean. But since we don't want to go crazy on this one and just grow bored because we make it too hard for ourselves, we're gonna make it just a simple project. Now we go back into perspective again. We want the arms to be visible, we want the legs to be unlocked, and the arms to be unlocked. And as you can see now, we have a pretty good view of the skeleton. So I'm gonna mark the mesh. I'm gonna make a layer out of that one as well. Human, I'm just gonna name it human, and we're not gonna change the name. So we can easily just make it non-visible. Now we want to connect the spine with the joints down here, the parent joints for the legs and the arms. So we click on this menu to the left, and we click on this one. Now you see this is the left leg, so we name it left leg. You don't have to do this, but I find it simpler, and this is the left arm. Right arm. Oh, right leg. And then this is gonna be the spine. So we're gonna name this one spine leg attach. And why we're naming this leg attach is because we don't want to attach the arms down here, because we want to attach the arms to, no, we want to attach the arms to this point right here. So we're gonna have to open up spine all the way down to joint 3, and we're gonna name this spine arm attach to make it easier for us. So we want to take the left leg, and you middle click and you just drag it down to the spine leg, or the spine point, joint, and you let go, and you see this beautiful little connection right here. And we do the same with the right leg connection, and then you take the left arm to the arm attach and the right arm to the arm attach, and you see a beautiful skeleton has formed in front of us. And since I'm a lazy prick, and this is probably not what you're supposed to do, but it works, you just select all and you click orient joints. So now they all have the same direction, so when they bend like so, they're gonna bend the same way, so we don't get any funky or weird bending animations. Reset it. Alright, now we select the human skin again, but since we haven't merged it, the skeleton is going to move without our human mesh. So what we have to do is we mark the skeleton, we shift click on the mesh, and we click skin, and we choose smooth bind. And as you can see, it turned purple, which means that if we click on this one and do this, the whole body is gonna follow. Also works with the arms and the head and everything else. It works the same way. Now it warps the skin, which is not something that we want, but how to fix and control the character without having any problems with tearing textures or anything else will be in another tutorial at a later time. Thanks for me. I hope this has been as helpful for you as it has been to some of my friends. And if you like my tutorials, maybe you could give me a like and subscribe, and stay awesome.